of that activity. Okay, good. And after we discuss these recent developments, we want to move forward with the meeting. So, if there's nothing else we need to discuss, let's move on to today's agenda. Start talking about the agenda instead of the other things, right? Or we can say, shall we get down to business? Or is there any other business? If there are no further developments, I'd like to move on to today's topic. Okay, so these recent developments we just have a short chat about, and then go on to the main subject. Okay, so, well, Thomas, get down to means start, right? We want to get down to business, right? That is a phrase we use, get down to business, and usually that is the whole phrase. You can't just separate get down from there. So the phrase is get down to business. That means start talking about what we want to do. Okay, it doesn't have to be in just a business meeting. It can be anything you want to. Even if it's not about business, you still say, let's get down to business, or do what we want to do. Okay, so also during the beginning of the meeting, we like to introduce the agenda. Okay, and how do we do that? By using these phrases and sentences. Have you all received a copy of the agenda? Or there are three things on the agenda. First, you tell what it is, and then second, you tell what that is, and third, you tell what that is. Okay, that's what we'll be talking about. Or you can say, shall we take the points in this order? Okay, maybe you want to change the order of your agenda, or the times that you want to talk about different things. Or we can say, if you don't mind, I'd like to go through the agenda items in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, in order, right? Or you can say, if you don't mind, I'd like to skip item 1 and move on to item 3. So change the order. Or you can say, I suggest we take item 2 last. Okay, so we want to discuss everything else before we discuss item 2. All right? Okay. So Thomas asked, take the point. Okay. Well, take the points means consider or talk about, right? So when we take the points, we talk about the points. In this order, right? We take the points. Okay? Talk about them in one order or another. Okay, so after we have introduced the agenda, we want to discuss the items on the agenda, and that makes pretty much sense, right? So, Jack was given the floor, or he was given control of the meeting, so he starts to talk. Before I begin the report, I'd like to get some ideas from you all. How do you feel about rural sales in your sales districts? I suggest we go around the table first to get all of your input. John says, in my opinion, we've been focusing too much on urban customers and their needs. The way I see things, we need to return to our rural base by developing an advertising campaign to focus on their particular needs. Okay, so Jack wants to talk about something else before court, and he asks a question and says, shall we go around the table? Okay, so talk to all the people around at the meeting, at the table, right? So when we go around the table, we talk one by one, right, about something. And John starts the discussion off by giving his opinion, and he says, we focus too much on urban customers, right? And we know urban is the opposite of rural. Okay, so urban would be areas inside the city. The urban customers, okay? So, and he tells about that. Then Alice says, they're talking one by one now, they're going around the table. I'm afraid I can't agree with you. I think rural customers want to feel as important as our customers living in cities. I suggest we